So what would my message be to 18-year-olds? I would say if you're an aspiring entrepreneur and you are wanting to be successful, I say you get started really, really early, okay? Nowadays, you can start as young as 14, 13 to start getting educated on YouTube and anywhere in the internet. Remember, we have a lot of free information out there. So if you are 18 years old, or if you're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, even in your 20s, even in your 30s, but if you're just starting out, guys, you have all the time in the world. Start educating yourself. And my number one tip would be learn how to learn, okay? Forget about the bad friends. Okay, if you have a girlfriend, but focus your time on learning how to learn and applying and learning how to set goals, making plans, and not being afraid to fail. Remember, you are just starting. You have no family, you have no wife, you have nothing. You can take all the risks that you want while you're young. So if you are young, my number one piece of advice is get started, show up, set the goal, make the plan, and don't be afraid to fail. You can go at it all day long. What is the hardest thing about managing employees is once you have a lot of employees, a lot of them are going to miss, okay? But for me, for example, I have been doing this a long time, and after you start doing it and you start getting your formula on how to manage your employees, you're going to look at your employees a little bit different. Okay, the way I personally look at my employees, and for those of you following us that want to get into the construction industry, service-based industry, you need to look at your employees almost like a van. How much can that van provide you in sales per day? And how much can that employee provide you in sales per day? Okay? It depends on the formula that you follow, and it depends on the trade that you do. But for example, on my service-based company where I have cleaning, maintenance, pressure cleaning, we charge by the hour for those employees. So 30 employees, I know for a fact that is 6 crews of 5. And each crew of 5 is going to provide me with 40 hours of work. So in my business, for example, I look at one van, one supervisor, 4 employees, 40 hours of work, and the sale always has to be double of that of the expense. What is my expense? My expense is my gas, my expense is my insurance, my expense is payroll and materials, okay? So that's how I look at my employees. But managing employees, it gets real hard if you start liking your employees, if you start going out with your employees. So my advice is do not go out with any of your employees. Keep it business, of course, be respectful, be nice, help them, say hello to their families, have get-togethers for them, etc. But try not to be too friendly, because if a thin line gets crossed, then you may have problems on the job site. Another problem with having a lot of employees is which one of them is going to miss today. So one of the biggest questions at 6 in the morning for all of us is, which employee is not going to come? And please don't let it be a driver. So this goes back to experience. Like for me, I have a lot of employees, so if a driver misses, I have other drivers. But if you're just starting and you only have 5 employees in one van, then you're going to have your driver miss, and if your other guys don't have a license or something, then your van doesn't get to go on the road. And this is when you start losing contracts, okay? You got to make the job sites, you have to make the deadlines of the job sites, and you cannot interfere with other subcontractors' scheduled work, because the builder has a scheduled date that he has to finish the job, and he has a scheduled date for all the subs to follow. So it's very important, if you're just starting out, you are always ready for an employee to miss, and especially if your driver, your supervisor, or the English-speaking supervisor person is not going to come. So those are big pieces of advice, and those are some of the problems that I incur when I have employees. Have I lost contracts before? 100%, guys. Now, I'm not saying that that's something that happens all the time, but of course it has happened, and it's going to happen to you as well, okay? For now, 22 years in, right now, today, as we do this interview, I am doing current work for companies that I've worked for the past 22 years. I have a thing in my company that I call it's like a little mantra where I say, once you hire us or once we get hired, we don't get fired, okay? So many or 90% of my clients I've had over 10 years and most of them over 15. Maybe 4 or 5 clients are brand new, less than 5 years, but for the most part, I keep the clients that I get and I try not to lose any contracts. Some of the situations that have happened for me to lose contracts boils back to what I was just explaining to you guys about making sure your van arrives to your job sites. If they do not, you will interfere with the schedule of other subcontractors. And if that happens, the moment that happens, that supervisor on the job site has to let the office know. And that's when things start happening to you and they start talking about getting you replaced, and they provide you with this letter you do not want, which is the 3-day notice letter, okay? That 3 days notice letter, if you go to my YouTube, or I made a podcast about reading contracts. If you are scheduled at a job site and you do not follow the schedule that they give to you, they have the right to provide you with a 3-day letter, 3-day notice stating that you have 3 days to cure and keep on with the schedule, or they have the right to replace you and of course pay you for the completed work that you did, but then you will lose the remaining part of your contract, and obviously you can say goodbye to that client, because even if your service is the best and your quality is the best, you just proved that you didn't show up and you were not going to make the deadlines. So now it's not work ethic, it's not quality, it's not service, it's the point that you actually didn't show up to your job, you interfere with the builder, and it's just not a good situation. Other reasons why you could get fired, I've had a homeowner before. This was homeowner work, not construction work, but I remember one of my drivers, I guess, was driving too fast inside of that neighborhood and she didn't like it. Another reason could be a supervisor gives you a real tight deadline but doesn't let you aware. For example, they call you the day before the job is due, and then you accept the job, and then it was gonna be hard to finish that job the next day, but you took it thinking, okay, I have an extra day, but then you realize the next day that there is no next day, and then next thing you know, you have the office at the construction site and the supervisor is saying, he didn't finish. That's another good way to get a can out of your job. Also, you cannot, actually this has never happened to me, but you wanna always keep your insurances up to date, because if you do not, they will stop the work that you are doing and they will have another company take over for the contract. Okay, so those are the few things that maybe has happened to me. I don't think that really, like I said, I'm not one that gets let go from contracts, because like I said, one of the mantras here that I have is once you hire us, or once we get hired, we don't get fired. So I can't say that happens a lot. Oh, one thing that did happen to me was the developer. The developer is the person that gives the money to the builder for the builder to build the home. So the developer is the main boss. Sometimes the builder gives you the contract, and after you do a job or two, the developer decides that, hey, I don't want him to do our jobs because we can get it cheaper. So sometimes the developer overrides the builder, and then therefore you could get replaced. This is more usually about price than it is about anything else. Okay, so that's actually something that happened to me last year, which probably would have been the first thing I should have said. But those are 3-4 different ways that you can get a can on the construction side as a subcontractor in the construction industry. My morning routine, I start at 3:30 a.m. I like to watch, obviously, this is the kind of channel that we have here, business, entrepreneurship. So I like to always get up and motivate myself, do a little weight, just little 15-pound weights that I have there, and kind of just think. I email and text my daughter that I have with my ex. She lives down the road. This is actually have a YouTube video coming up breaking down all my expenses for the month and year, and we're gonna go over that, so you'll know that I have her living down the road at a different apartment. So she's about 3 minutes that way, literally. And that's something that I do every morning. I like to send her some nice little messages. Another thing I do is I don't really eat, so I start calling all my supervisors and making sure that the drivers are coming, and it's, no problems are gonna be arising from drivers, because if so, my supervisor needs to call other employees and make sure that they go where the van is to get it. So my first hour, pretty much 3:30 to 4:30, or if I get up at 4 to 5, I'm pretty much like in a meditation mode, home, lights off, relaxing, getting ready to kind of start getting on the phones. Then after that, I contact my daughter. After that, I start contacting supervisors. After that, it's shaving time. I do a little thing like I told you, my 15-pound weights, maybe like 100. I go in, I brush my hair. I shave my head, I brush my teeth, I take a shower, I get dressed, and I start going over my to-do list. I have a to-do list. This is something that I do every night. And every morning before I start my day, I like to visualize that to-do list. So I advise everybody to listen to this. Take note. The night before, make your to-do list exactly by the hour. Okay, so every 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., even break it down to 30 minutes. And fill it up as much as you can, okay? And say I'm gonna start my day at 5, I'm gonna do this at 5:30, this at 6, this at 7, this at 8, and start doing that. And in the morning, I wake up and I visualize all the meetings that I have, because we have to go check on job sites, right? So I start saying, I have a meeting with this person at this job site, and the situation at this job site is we're doing good, we're up to date, we're doing a great job, we're actually ahead of the game. So I know when I get there, if we're ahead of the schedule, I know I'm gonna find a happy supervisor. So I start visualizing what is his feelings when I arrive. What is he gonna ask me? What is he gonna request from me? Is he gonna be upset? Is he gonna be medium happy? Is he gonna be super happy? And and I visualize, if he's not happy, what could he tell me? If he's really happy, what could he tell me? And so on. So I kind of try to put myself in their shoes and see how that situation is gonna go for me. And I do that pretty much with the whole entire to-do list. So if I have 4, 5, 6 job sites to go to, I will do that and kind of visualize walking into that job site, walking up to the supervisor and kind of seeing what he could tell me. And then that gives me time to kind of prep answers and kind of be ready for anything that could happen. And this goes for most of the things that I do in this world. So to-do list in morning, definitely visualize before I leave the house. After that, I have my driver. If I don't have my driver, I have several cars, but I have cars. I have one getting a motor, I have one gonna get painted, I have the other one with air conditioning problems getting in there. So right now I'm the only guy with 3 cars with no cars. Can you believe it? So I leave in the morning, I start checking all my job sites, and I will make a video on the structure on how I charge for all the management for all my business. Yes, I always say learn how to learn. If you can take one message, is learn how to learn, guys. Look, I'm launching this YouTube channel, and I've never launched a YouTube channel, and I already have my marketing team. I already have my full-time editor. I made a business plan. I got my Fund and Grow affiliate that we have here right now. So you are going to, once you learn how to learn, you will get obsessed about doing a business or something, and you will figure it out, because you will know where to put your time and your studies in order for you to reach your goals. So you will know how to make your plan, you will know how to set your goals, you will know how to set your goals, make your plans, you will know how to execute it, and you will know, if you know how to learn, you will know what you don't know, and you will know where to go learn what you don't know. Okay, so learning how to learn gives you that awareness that it lets you know what things should be getting done and in what order, and you also lets you know the things that you don't know, and it also gives you the direction to go where you gotta go to learn what you don't know, if that makes any sense. So I want everybody here in this channel to learn how to learn. It's super important, guys, I'm telling you. If you were just starting in business right now, you need to get heads in to YouTube and learn as much free information as possibly you can. If you have a little bit of money, get yourself Skillshare, okay? And start learning people skills, negotiations, marketing, and sales, and get hard at that, okay? Really important that negotiations and sales, remember guys, sales is the cure to all businesses. Stop crazy with the marketing, but learn your sales, learn your marketing, learn your management, learn your accounting, learn your people skills, learn your negotiations. Those are 6 topics I will get on top of. And the way I would learn today, if I didn't know one thing about business, is I would open up YouTube and I will go on the search bar and I will put business channels, entrepreneur channels, following the life of an entrepreneur, following the life of a business person, a day in the life, and start seeing people running their businesses, okay? After doing this, start getting more channels like Valuetainment, that they have instructional videos regarding all aspects of business. Okay, also start learning how to read and watch motivational, inspirational videos and inspiring speakers. This will open up your mind and give you different perspective on things. So one simple video could change your perspective on an entire thing. So follow for more, guys. If you guys have any more questions, follow the YouTube channel, hit the link on the tree link below, and remember, like, subscribe, and we're here twice a week, okay? For podcasts, we're here twice a week for blog style content, and we are going to have over 80 shorts to 100 shorts a month, okay? We have a full-time editor that's working hard. This guy is working hard. We have crazy schedules between Lillian, our marketing team, and me, and the editor, and my wife. We are all organizing this so we can get all these shots done and get you guys informed on what is business. And the reason I'm doing this is because I was raised tough, and I was raised and I didn't have any of this stuff. And if I could get one person can get a little message from me and help them and get inspired and do their thing, that'd be nice, because nobody did that for me. So I don't have to do this. I have my businesses. I don't have to do this at all, but I'm gonna do this because I kind of want to do this for also my daughters and all of them to see me and kind of come out here and be like, wow, this is what their dad did. And this is what he was doing all this time working. This is how he put us through private schools and the whole 9 yards. And another topic that we're gonna go about here is private schools. If you're following this channel, I think it's super important that we do whatever we have to do in order for us to get, well, I already have my kids in private school. You guys need to hustle up if you don't. And I'm sorry, you just gotta do whatever you gotta do. Don't get the cars, don't get the trips, don't travel, do something, get an extra job. I don't care what you have to do, but if you don't have kids in private school, it's a must, guys. So please don't take this like a push situation, because I know you guys are probably gonna be like, oh, you can afford it and this and that. No. Everybody here goes through all kinds of problems. We all need to struggle to get through our goals. So I did it when I did my private school, so now it's your turn. Everybody lives in different stages. So follow for more, guys. Remember private school, remember business, management, entrepreneurship, guys. The people skills, sales, okay? That's what you need to be learning. If you're young, if you're older too, and you made mistakes growing up, that's fine. Get the hustle, okay? Let's get it.